always hear these arguments in the barbershop. Who has the best handles in the league? Is it Curry? Is it Kyrie? Is it somebody else?
For the open look. Whoa, which way did it go?
No, I think Kyrie has the best hand.
Behind the back. Which way did it go? Someone to the left this time.
From one of the most beloved young stars to a downward spiral of fan hate fueled by flat earth conspiracies, apparent anti-Semitic comments, and anti-vax stances, Kyrie Irving made himself easy to root against over the years. But just like the earth that is indeed round, the public perception of Kyrie seems to have gone full circle for many basketball fans since he came into his own alongside Luka Doncic in Dallas, and went all the way to the finals last season. But there's one place where the mention of Kyrie's name is enough to drive the fans into rage and having them scream insults in no time: Boston. Before we get into Kyrie's radioactive relationship with Boston, we need to cover how he ended up there in the first place. Ever since being selected first overall in 2011, Kyrie has been the main attraction in Cleveland. The bar wasn't exactly high, but that doesn't take anything away from him. Things drastically changed in the summer of 2014 when LeBron James decided to come home and the Cavs went from a laughingstock to a title contender overnight. LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love formed a new big three, and the team went to the finals in their first year together. Kevin and Kyrie suffered injuries and LeBron couldn't overcome Golden State by himself. The following year, Cleveland completed the biggest feat in NBA Finals history, coming back from down 3-1 to win their first ever championship. Kyrie was an instrumental part of their success, hitting one of the most iconic shots of all time late in Game 7. While the team was on top of the basketball world, Kyrie wasn't as happy as you'd expect from someone in his position. It is said that after winning the title, instead of celebrating with his teammates, he FaceTimed Kobe Bryant. He went from the undisputed #1 option to a sidekick, and he did not appreciate being in LeBron's shadow. When a reporter asked him to describe the parental role that LeBron played for him and the rest of the team, Kyrie was visibly annoyed, saying he has only one father.
Oh, okay. So you, parental role. Honestly, I'm, he's. I don't know how to really answer that question. He's been a great leader for us. I have one father. That's my dad, Kyrie Irving.
At the time, he wasn't mature enough to be the leader of a winning team, yet that's exactly what he wanted to be. After Cleveland lost the 2017 finals against Golden State, Kyrie made his move and requested a trade. This was a shock to everyone. Sure, the Warriors were a juggernaut with Durant, but Cleveland was the only team that could even hope to challenge them. His request was granted, and he was traded to Boston with Isaiah Thomas being the centerpiece of Cleveland's return. Kyrie was an important piece for Cleveland, but Thomas was the heart and soul of the Celtics. However, Danny Ainge has no room for sentimentality. In his mind, the Celtics couldn't go all the way with Thomas, and they could with Kyrie. The Celtics went to the conference finals in 2017, and it was reasonable to expect that adding Kyrie would get them to the finals at the very least. With promising young talents in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the veteran leadership in Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, alongside a great supporting cast, the Celtics were looking like a real threat. However, Gordon Hayward suffered a broken ankle in the season opener, which was a major blow to the Celtics season. Without Hayward, they didn't manage to hugely improve their record, but they still ended up with a respectable 55-27, which was a 2-win improvement over their previous season. Unfortunately, Kyrie suffered a knee injury in March of 2018 that sidelined him throughout the playoffs, so the young guys were on their own. They more than held their own, making it to the Eastern Conference Finals once again. Despite expectations, Kyrie was unable to make a return, and the Celtics narrowly lost to the Cavs in 7 games. Some were questioning if the team was better without Kyrie, but they were mostly dismissed by the fan base. With Kyrie back in the fold for next season, surely they would have enough firepower to get past Cleveland this time. Before the start of the season, Kyrie told fans in TD Garden that if they'll have him, he plans on re-signing with the team when his contract expires in the summer.
But I shared it with some of my teammates as well as the organization and everyone else in Boston. If you guys will have me back, I plan on re-signing here next year.
What was supposed to be their year started off as anything but. Shaky play, toxic chemistry, you name it. More than a few wins were the result of pure talent on the team rather than any display of teamwork or planning. Reports soon started coming out about rifts within the team. Of course, Kyrie was the centerpiece, and he was supposedly in conflict with everyone. If the stories were to be believed, the supposed leader of the team was barely talking to the team's young players unless it was to yell at them. Other stories claimed he often butted heads with coach Brad Stevens, whom everyone but Kyrie loved. left. Videos of Kyrie whispering with KD in an arena tunnel weren't helping matters, and the Celtics ultimately fell to the Bucks 4-1 in the second round of the playoffs in 2019. Rumors of Kyrie leaving at the end of the season were pretty rampant, and he did exactly that, joining KD in Brooklyn. Boston fans were livid. Not only did Kyrie not re-sign as promised, but in their eyes, he had held back the development of their young stars and he betrayed them by going to a conference rival, and no fan base in the NBA holds a grudge like Boston. Overnight, he became public enemy number one, and everything wrong with that season became his fault. Knocked out of the playoffs? Blame Kyrie. Tatum missed a shot? Blame Kyrie. Your girlfriend left you? Blame Kyrie. You get the gist. Was he part of the problem? Yeah, a major one. Was he the whole problem? Far from it, but that didn't matter to Boston fans. From that moment on, every time Kyrie was in town, active, injured, or just passing through, you would know by the boos, the chants, and the fan signs. But the fans boo players that leave all the time. Think KD in Oklahoma or LeBron in Cleveland. But no, this beef is built different for two major reasons. For most other players who are seen as traitors, the hatred subsides over time. Fans learn to forgive or they stop caring as much. On the other hand, the players usually don't go out of their way to provoke the fans of their former teams. Yet Boston's hate for Kyrie is still going strong as ever years later. While Kyrie has shown signs of maturing since his trade request, such as calling LeBron one night to apologize for his behavior in Cleveland, he has stoked the flames with Boston fans on more than a few occasions. And it's not just the small things like making inviting gestures with his hand when the fans start booing him. No, he was straight up disrespectful sometimes. Think of the time he stomped on the Celtics logo at center court following a playoff win against them with Brooklyn, although he did go on a long losing streak to Boston after that game, so karma might have intervened. One Boston fan also intervened by throwing a bottle at Kyrie as he was leaving the floor. He was arrested for that and pled not guilty. Or how about the time he hit a tough jumper over Jaylen Brown and decided to flip off the Boston crowd for good measure? That one cost him $50K, and they lost that game too. Since joining the Mavs, however, Kyrie seems to have finally left his controversial past behind and is just focused on basketball. Even Tatum and Brown have stated that since leaving the team, Kyrie had contacted them multiple times to offer advice, and that their relationship now is perfectly healthy. For what it's worth, Kyrie regrets flipping off the fans, but Boston fans do not forgive or forget. The 2024 finals had Kyrie go up against Boston on the biggest stage ever, and the fans wasted no time reminding Kyrie of how they felt.
Irving using the screen. Horford picks him up. Falls down. Almost falls down again. Keeps the dribble. Back up top, Washington. Shot clock at 3.
When asked about the booing after Game 1, Kyrie said he had expected the booing to be louder. Still, he finished the finals below his season averages for points and rebounds. And the Boston fans could celebrate a title they not only won off of Kyrie, but one that would also put them ahead of the Lakers on the all-time totals. Right now, it seems that Kyrie is no longer interested in antagonizing the Boston crowds, and it will be interesting to see how much longer they can sustain their attitude towards Kyrie without his provocations to fuel them. Still, this is Boston we're talking about, so they might hold this grudge for longer than we might anticipate. But what do you think? Is the Kyrie hate from Boston fans still justified after everything that was said and done? Or is it time for the fans to just let go? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.